Recording. What's up, guys? So, welcome to the midweek breakdown. Let's start off first with EU, right? Because I know everybody out here was interested in EU. So was I. I'm gonna explain to you guys why I didn't go long on this very, very clean trade, which maybe 6 months or a year ago, I would have taken this trade, taken the loss, but I took this loss many times, learned from my mistakes, and that's what it's all about. That's why we avoided that one today because of the experience, right? So very clearly, very, very clearly, we are bullish. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. We have highs, higher low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? We have the very clean previous higher high structure, which also happens to line up with previous resistance, resistance, and resistance, right? And if you look left, it is also as well support and resistance, correct? We all understand this. So then we got a higher high breaking above this previous higher high level. So we can anticipate the exact same retest of this daily structure, just how it did here, to continue the trend. It's that simple. We're just simply trading with a trend. The trend is our friend. We go down to the 4 hour, very clean as well. The 4 hour had this very nice double top here, double top, double bottom rejection. And then here we obviously had the break above, the retest. And then we were having this entry signal right here around, I want to say 12, 1 o'clock. Yeah, look, you see it down there, 12, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's around the daily candle close, about 3 hours off from the daily close. According to my rules, you don't take trades at that time simply because of the volume in the markets is literally dying out. You go down to the 30-minute, very clean morning star off of the resistance, EMA, everything you wanted to see in this trade, it was there. And if that trade would have presented itself any other time other than the time that it was, I would have taken it 100%. And it would have for sure taken us out at a break even because I would have done a tight stop, something like this. Stops right under that low, probably than a 20 pip stop. And then it would have hit our 1-to-1 for sure. So we would have gone break even. See, it would have hit our 1-to-1. We would have gone break even, been taken out of break even. It is what it is, but I would have still been definitely targeting the highs. So once we had this push up, this little minor push down, and then we had this push up again around the morning. I'm like, guys, don't trip out. The daily still needs to retest that structure point, right? The daily still has that space to come back and then retest this. It's not going to really go anywhere because it had the retest within this daily candlestick. It didn't have it prior. The prior needs to create that wick and then we enter on that wick, correct? So then we had that pullback, we had the double bottom, we had exactly what we were anticipating. We had the double bottom at the resistance, double bottom at the same resistance, rejection from the EMA, you go down to the 30-minute and you have this very nice formation. Now, the reasons why I didn't go long on this was one, because we had broken the 30-minute structure. The 30-minute was creating nice, clean moves. And then we had not only broken it, but closed under, and we were rejecting this structure level right here, as well with the 30-minute EMA. But I was willing to overlook that simply because that the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, all these time frames were in sync. I'm like, I'm not gonna let one time frame get over, the whole analysis. But as soon as this candlestick opened, I always set my trade like this. I always set it 2-3 pips above, just simply for regular spreads and all that stuff. It always takes you up higher. So I simply always wait for the candlestick to break this high. I always wait for it to create a little to create above. As soon as this candlestick opened, it simply just died. It never created that wick. So the whole time, the whole hour, actually, I was looking at it here with an alarm. I'm like, all right, cool. When it breaks that level, it's confirming that it's going to continue to the upside, breaking these highs, rejection from the EMA, and then go. Even when I saw this dip right here and it came down and rejected the EMA, I'm like, all right, well, I could get now and at a better discount. But I didn't like how this more like Marabuzu candle just opened and then died. You get me? That right there completely turned me off. It didn't even create a little jig of something as small as like that. right? So that's something that I've seen in the past, and it was at the time that it did it. It did it at 6, 7 in the morning. So I was like, this is not something that I'm really looking to do, because it's happened to me. It's I forgot the name, but it's like the past wave from London to New York and then the overlap. So I'm like, you know what? Just gonna be watching. One of the main reasons why I didn't go long there, as well as we had this 4-hour close bearish engulfing. That is a big turnoff. I don't like that. I wanted the 4-hour to close like this, a rejection from the area, confirming it's not going to engulf. Realize how every single time we get an engulfing, price tends to follow through, right? Even here, when it didn't engulf, see how price kept going up. So I didn't appreciate how it engulfed. So now we are still very much bullish. This is still very much the daily high, low, high, higher low, higher high. As long as we remain above this higher low, we are bullish on the daily. That is a fact. If we get something like this, perfect. We wait for the lower high, the same level that is support we use as resistance, along with this very strong resistance down the line here. So like I said, it's at a point where I love taking trades. It's either gonna completely go bullish from here, or we were wrong about the whole trade, and then the trend has shifted back down to bearish. So the daily is the higher low right here. And we also happen to have run into this very strong resistance level. All right, we already covered it. Very strong resistance with 12800. You go down to the 4-hour, and it is clearly the 4-hour double top. Now it's going to be a triple bottom, whatnot. You throw your fib from point A right here, to B, and then again, the negative 27 lines up with the bigger time frame fib. So we have fib on fib for take profit with the psychological level of around 12300. So this is definitely going to be my target. Now, not only is it at the last point of return of the daily trend, but it's also at the last point of return in the 4-hour. Because if we break under this, we are completely shifting the 4-hour trend, and then we go bearish. By the time it does this, this EMA would have dipped under, would have done something like this, then it uses it as resistance, and then we sell. It's that simple. We simply just react and adapt. But I love catching the trades here, because it's at the point where it's gonna go completely bullish or completely bearish. And it's at the 78.6, which also happens to be the final point of validation of the fib, all that good stuff, which I'm not going to base my trade off of a fib, but it's an extra confluence. So now you guys are asking me, why don't I go long here? It's rejecting, all that good stuff. Well, one, we could very much come up and reject the 4-hour EMA. And two, when we do get the break of the 4-hour EMA, something like this, not only is it the break of the 4-hour EMA, but it is also the break of the neckline of the double bottom on the 1-hour and the 30-minute. So we're getting the retest of this, because we're still very much creating low, high, low, high, low. It can come up, create a double top at the 4-hour EMA. This EMA could dip down, use it as another rejection point, could create a double top here, and then continue this move to the downside. So I want to avoid that. If it comes down here, it gives me a nice head and shoulders. That's something else. But the ideal thing is to get the break of that point, break of the 30-minute lower high structure, break of the 4-hour EMA. By the time we get this break, this EMA is caught under, use it as a support, and goes. Notice how it's the exact, it's like I'm not making this shit up. Like, it's right there. It gets me excited because I see it all the fucking time. And I like showing it to you guys. It's the same exact move as right here. Low, high, low, high, low. It can literally do this right here. Come up, create the lower high, not break the structure. We're stuck in this consolidation for a day for absolutely no reason. All we have to do is wait. We get the break, and then the retest of the structure with the EMA. It's the same exact thing. This right here just happens to have been done very fast, right? We had this retest really fast. So I'm going to remain patient. This is a very nice trade. And again, it's at the point of no return. It's either going to go bullish from here or completely bearish. Same way how it was here. So that's my analysis for Euro USD. I'm going to be watching this forward close. I don't mind not sleeping again today. No big deal. I'm already fried, so it's not a big deal. Yo, this analysis is fire. Thank you, my bro. My EMA is the 50 EMA. Spread is horrible. Yeah, around that time. Yeah, bro, it is. That's another reason why we don't take a trade around the 1 o'clock, because the spread is they tend to be really high. They're like 15, 20 pips. So that's not the time to